Good afternoon, everyone, on this Thursday afternoon, June 25th, about 3:45 as I am recording this afternoon. We've got some potential severe weather to talk about in the area, primarily tomorrow, although we can't rule out a stray severe storm this afternoon or even on Saturday. But wanted to bring that to your attention. We're going to dive through all the details here in just a minute, so let's jump right into the data. First off on your screen, we've got some tornadoes to recap from the past week. We had 14 tornadoes touch down and confirmed from the National Weather Service in our area within the last 7 to 10 days. First up was last Wednesday on June 17th. We had two primary tornadoes. Actually, three tornadoes there on June 17th. The first one, of course, was the EF3 tornado from Effingham and Jasper counties. This one caused a lot of the damage in the north side of Effingham as it went through T-Town, south of Montrose. Caused a lot of insurance damage, a lot of home damage. Thankfully, no one was injured or killed out of this tornado. Again, EF3 status. I think peak winds were 150 miles per hour there, you see on your screen. The other one, an unidentified unknown tornado. Can't quite tell the wind speed, but they were able to see damage, that hence the tornado track. This is just east of Highway 130 between Rose Hill and Falmouth. And of course, we had the EF2 tornado in Coles County. That had peak winds of about 116 and caused some damage there, primarily on the north side of Charleston with that tornado. Then we go to Sunday. We had 12 tornadoes in the area on Sunday, an EF0 in northern Effingham County, an EF0 and an EF1 in Cumberland County, 3 EF1s in Crawford County, 2 EF2s that, could very well have looked like they came from the same tornado. Looks like it just lifted a little bit here as it crossed on the southeast side of Newton. Both EF2 status there with winds of around 120 miles per hour out of both of those storms. Yeah, 120 and 115 miles an hour there in Jasper County. As we go to the south, we had an EF1 tornado in Clay County, another EF1 tornado in Richland County, crossing over into Lawrence County, just south of the county line. There's that EF1 from Crawford County, 2 EF1s in Wayne County, and the big EF3 tornado from Jefferson County that crossed over into far western Wayne County. That one had peak winds of 140 miles an hour, was on the ground for just over 15 miles, 5 injuries and 2 deaths, unfortunately, reported with that tornado. So busy weather patterns over the last week to 10 days. Things are going to stay busy for the next couple days before the heat and humidity returns next week. So let's dive right in with the model data. First up is the convective outlooks from the Storm Prediction Center. Marginal risk of severe weather today. We saw a couple storms try to get up to severe status, but it didn't really make it there. I think damaging winds are the biggest threat out of any storms today. Notice the tornado threat is non-existent, thankfully. Maybe a little bit of damaging hail there as well, but marginal risk for severe weather today. The story, of course, is the slight risk of severe weather tomorrow. This encompasses pretty much everyone in the area. We do have a 5% tornado threat for tomorrow, which isn't that big of a threat, but it is a little bit elevated due to some of the instability and some of the wind shear that we are going to see in the atmosphere tomorrow. So that's where the Storm Prediction Center came up with that 5% tornado threat. We also see a 5% damaging wind threat and some hail possible tomorrow as well. So slight risk for the area tomorrow. Good news is that pretty well pushes out of the area for your Saturday. We go back to a marginal threat for severe weather there. And then the rain showers and the thunderstorms and severe weather push out of the area, and it turns hot and muggy for your Sunday and into next week. Looking at the ingredients for severe weather, we talk about the 3 main things you need for severe storms to get going. First one is storm juice, that convective available potential energy that we look at how much is in the atmosphere, We look at wind shear, how much wind energy is in the atmosphere, and then we look for some sort of sparking mechanism, some front moving through, or something, to kind of get these storms firing up, some sort of energy, some wind, storm wind energy in the atmosphere. We're going to see all of those in the area tomorrow. This is convective available potential energy for the area tomorrow. Notice not a whole lot of storm juice, more down to the south of I-64, but still some in our area as those storms start to fire up and move through. Wind energy, we will have plenty of that, 40 to 50 knots in the area. That's plenty of wind shear that we're working with. So that kind of shapes future radar out to look something like this. This is starting at 4 p.m. today. We'll have to watch for some more showers and thunderstorms to try to bubble up here as we go into the early evening hours. I don't think many of these will turn severe. We might have an occasional severe storm, damaging winds, large hail. Again, the biggest threats out of any severe storms today. Those push out of the area as we go into the midnight hour. Watch these showers and thunderstorms over by St. Louis. Those are going to kind of be dying as they work into our neck of the woods, but they will make their way here by daybreak tomorrow. So don't be surprised if you wake up to some rumbles of thunder tomorrow morning associated with these storms. Again, 6 a.m. tomorrow morning there. Those storms may move out, and we may catch a little bit of a break around lunchtime. We're going to have to really watch that. If we can catch a longer break, if the storms move out quicker, we see more sunshine, build up more instability, that could fuel a couple stronger storms in the area. But if we see the rain stick around longer, that energy goes down a little bit. So just things we're going to have to watch and kind of play it by ear until we get to tomorrow morning to really lock down some of the specifics. But as we go in the afternoon, there's that line of showers and thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon, maybe about 4 p.m., primarily to our south, but, could still kind of sneak into the area if we're not watching carefully. So those will move through tomorrow afternoon and evening. Notice they're pretty well out of the area by 8, 9, 10 o'clock. And then maybe some lingering showers for your overnight Friday night into Saturday, and then some again Saturday morning. But the rest of Saturday looks pretty much dry across the area. We can't rule out a couple storms trying to sneak in Sunday, early in the day Sunday, or overnight Saturday night rather. But those look to be minimal in terms of severe weather. So again, best timing for severe weather looks to be between probably after 2 to 3 p.m. tomorrow until about 7, 8 o'clock. That's our prime time for seeing some stronger storms. Again, can't rule out some tornadoes, but damaging winds are also going to play a factor there as well. Outside of all of the severe weather that we've been talking about, we're talking about a lot of heavy rainfall as well. The National Weather Service has issued a flood watch for the entire area. That goes into effect now as you're watching this through Saturday at 1 p.m. We could see anywhere from 1.5 to 2, maybe even 3-inch amounts of rain moving through. So these are a couple different model runs projecting rainfall through let's say Saturday evening. First one is the RRFS. This one's a little bit more bullish on the rainfall. Notice it's indicating maybe 3 inches plus in the Olney area, and along Route 50, a little bit less as you go from Effingham to Newton, 1.5 to 2 inches. Heavier amounts along the Route 15 corridor, 4.5 or 4.25 inches northwest of Fairfield, maybe, 6 inches near Albion. Again, this one overdoes it just a little bit, but I want to show it to you to kind of give you the range of what we're looking at. Here's another model, the 3-kilometer NAM. This one probably underdoes it just a little bit. Less than inch amounts there in the blue, inch to 2 inches there in the yellow and the orange across the area. Can't rule out some 3 to 4 inch amounts though as well. If we put all of the models together and find an average of them, that runs through what we call the National Blend of Models. And this kind of gives us a good middle ground, what we could be seeing. And notice a lot of 1.5 to 2 inch amounts across the area, some a little bit higher if you get some thunderstorms training over you. That's what the National Weather Service is watching with this flood watch that's in effect. So we can't rule out some bigger rainfalls, especially if storms continue to train over certain areas. 2 to 3, even 4 inches of rain isn't out of the question, but I think everyone in general is probably going to get another 1.5 to 2 inches across the area, on top of the 1 to 2 inches of rain that we've gotten in the last week already. So more soggy weather is on tap before the heat and humidity returns next week. I'll have another video out over the weekend talking about more of those specifics. But until then, I will be around all day tomorrow. We don't have to worry about any storm chasing from the train or anything like that to get in the way of severe weather coverage tomorrow. So I will be around. If anything does go severe, tune it in here first, and I will we'll keep you covered across the area. That's all I've got for this video. Make sure to come back for Out the Door forecasts every weekday around 7 a.m. and occasional weather updates, longer form like this video. Thanks for watching. Stick around for the next one.